All right, I'm joined here today by Anton Gilmore and Johnny Koen, and they got two exciting fights coming up. Malcolm Klaasen and Isaac Schloswayo. I mean, these are two massive names that you two gentlemen are coming up against. But I'll start with you, Anton. There's a boxing tournament and exhibition bouts on the same day. How are you feeling ahead of this tournament?
Feeling good. You know, at 55, it's going to be my birthday on the day that I fight. At 55, getting in shape again it has been a trial. I've been going for 6 weeks, and I've been lucky to train with Johnny because he works hard. He does his runs and everything, you know. So I've been putting in my hour a day, a run here and there, and things like that, you know. So I'm nervous because Malcolm is no easy task, eh? And he's still active in boxing. He's 43, I'm 55. So I expect a hard fight. He also has come forward style, and his mixes. He's got a work rate, and so at the same time, he's fighting, let's say, an old man. I don't want to give him an old man fight, so I'm training the best I can be so I can actually give him a decent fight, because there's nothing worse than being in an exhibition and you've got to carry the guy because he's not on your level, you know. So I'm doing the best I can out of respect for him, you know what I'm saying. And I've got a lot of friends coming. A lot of my school friends have started buying tickets, and they haven't seen me fight since back in the school days. So I want to put on my best performance, you know. So I've been training hard, and I'm getting the sparring in, and and just training with Johnny's been motivation, because he seriously does train hard. He gets there, he runs, he comes back and he does his rounds on the bag. So it's been nice to be in camp with Johnny, you know, a professional. And he trains harder than he trained when he was a professional. He's more dedicated now than he was then. Anyway, Johnny's a story on its own, you know, coming back 2 years ago to fight Grant Habib, and just put himself back on the map, and then elevate himself to SA champion, and then clinching the title again, you know, from Greg. You know, I'm talking on behalf of him, so I think that's a good idea, because he doesn't want to talk about his greatness, but he's done really well. And then he became a promoter, and he's put on 3 great shows, you know what I'm saying. So and he's got plans for next year. There's a lot of talk about where Johnny's going with his fighting, and he's become quite the draw card and the call-out thing, you know. And we had the call-out. We had Don Madge fight the other day. I'm going to bring this in. I don't know if Johnny wants me to, but the Don Madge fight would be a great fight to put on. Go down to Fight Island, and that'll be a nice exhibition bout, you know what I'm saying. So that's from that perspective. For me, I'm having my 100th fight. I've got 25 years in the boxing at box office, 40 years of boxing. I've got 20 years of fight with Insight, you know, so they all round off this year, which is quite exciting. And so I want to sort of round off my career. This is my last fight. I know Johnny says that a lot, and I say that a lot, but we'll end up having one more, you know what I'm saying? So at the same time, I just want to finish off on a good note. I always said if I ever got knocked out, I'd retire from boxing. I haven't been knocked out ever in my boxing career. I've been dropped but never lost those fights, funny enough. So, you know, Malcolm Klaasen is going to be the one that could do it. But, maybe he's just going to go Gashly on the old man, eh?
I feel like we'll be sitting here in like 20 years' time, 200th fights, and Anton Gilmore still going strong in his 70s. So and before we get to the professional boxing, I want to focus on you guys. Maybe we can move over to Johnny really quickly. You've got Isaac Schloswayo, also a legend in the game. I mean, you obviously must have followed his career and seen what he accomplished in the sports. What do you make of your fights, and how do you think it's going to play out?
How's it, Aiden? Thanks for coming through to see us. Look, I grew up as a youngster watching Isaac beat Martin Jacobs for the lightweight title, I think 25 plus years ago. 25, I think it was still at the Wembley. Like, I've always had a friendship with Isaac. We've always spoken here or there. Look, I've got the utmost respect for Isaac. Anyone that actually is involved in boxing. Boxing is probably the hardest sport there is, regardless, in combat sport, regardless of what it is. But coming back to Isaac, I was actually sitting on the couch and I got a message from the matchmaker, no, it wasn't Pre-Norman, from AB, and he said, like, there's an exhibition, are you interested? And I was like, my wife and I spoke, and I said, it's got to be, like I said to you the last time we spoke, it's got to be worth my time, my effort, and it's got to make sense for me. And then I asked him against you, and he said, Isaac, let's try it. And I didn't have to even think twice. I told my wife, this is it. And she even agreed. She said, take the fight, go have fun, go and enjoy yourself. And that's what it's about. This camp is about enjoying myself. The fight's about enjoying myself. It's not for me to see what level I'm on. It's more for me to, it's an honor, it's a privilege to fight a man that's fought for 3 different world titles. And look, after this, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to talk too much.
Don't commit to anything.
Yeah, and I'm not committing to anything yet, but I'll sit down with my family, with my team, and we'll see what happens moving forward. Look, I'm enjoying myself at the moment. I don't have stress, I don't have pressure, I don't have to win, I don't have to fight, I don't need money to fight. I've got a business that does well. I'll do this because I want to. And the bigger the step in front of me, the harder I work. And I think, this Isaac fight will bring the best out of me. I think for the last 2 years that I've been back. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a proper fight.
Where did the Don Madge call-out come from?
Look, look, no disrespect to Don, no disrespect to Matthew. Like, I love what Matt's doing for boxing, especially in Cape Town. I know it's dead at the moment without Matt. I know Matt's doing a bit there. The Bryce, I think Bryce and him, yeah, they're also doing quite a bit for the boxing. And I saw Don was having an exhibition with Rama Pick and Pay, bare knuckle champion or whatever he is. And then I just thought to myself, I'm having an exhibition, he's having an exhibition. Let's meet in the middle. Let's have an exhibition, the two of us can have a go. It will tell me where I'm at in life, and it will tell you where you are at with boxing. And I think, Don took it a bit personal. Look, I didn't mean any disrespect to anything in the call. It was a fun thing for me. I think it will be a good fight. It was just, it's something they can promote and happen in Cape Town. But again, it's got to be at a proper weight division, because I'm not going up to another 2 divisions to fight somebody. It's got to come down to light heavy. I'll go up to light heavy. I don't have an issue with that. I actually pulled down from about light heavy halfway to cruise. I'll pull down to middleweight. So, okay, if they want to make it happen, let's make it happen.
That sounds like an exciting fight. Of course, this one that you're going to fight coming up at the end of November is going to be super exciting as well. How much do you think your skill set's going to be on display in this fight?
Look, I think to be honest with you, I think Isaac's going to bring the best out of me, like the best version of Johnny in the last 2 years. Look, I've had some humdingers in the last 2 years. I beat Brits twice. I lost against Greg. I beat Greg in the rematch. And that's going up in weight. Who else did I beat? I had the bare knuckle, I won that in fashion. But I think Isaac is going to bring the best out of me, the best version of Johnny in the last while of fighting. I'm excited for it. It's like, like I said to you earlier, it's an eat or be eaten situation. So, as I have a respect for Isaac, but once you step through those ropes, it's a different kind of respect I'll show him.
All right, and Anton, for performance number 100 in your boxing career, what are you expecting from yourself? I mean, obviously you've got a tough man in front of you in Malcolm Claessens, who's you've noted is a lot younger than you, but also yourself, you've been dedicated to your craft. Even though you've left the sport of professional boxing a long time ago, you still put on a performance in the exhibition ranks. So what are you expecting of yourself?
Look, last month was mental health month, we all struggle in life and what have you. And this fight actually gave me a reason to just sort of fix up my life a bit and get strong again. So I've been in the gym. It was a great idea, and I expect the best from myself because I've been putting in the effort. I want to round off on a good note, so I have been putting in the training, and that's it. I just want to put on my best show. It'll be my 100th. I'll be signing off. I'm not worried about the decision and how it goes. For me to get into the ring at 55 on my 100th fight, based on the trials that I've faced in life and in recent times, this is just good for me. For me, it's a victory already, and then the bonus is actually having a fight with Malcolm, you know, and I'm honored because this will be the best fight I've ever had in exhibition, you know. And also did the master boxing, you know. I fought Grant Habib, who was a great fight, very clever. I fought Thompson Makwana again. So, you know, I've had some good fights in the master box, which is really doing well currently, and it's a nice platform for 35 plus guys to come back into boxing. And I'm making a plug here. You guys must, all former boxers should actually step back in the ring and have a go again. But anyway, I'll be at the best I can be, you know, considering a body that's 55 years old, eh?
Right. Well, if you look after yourself, you can go still for that time at 200. If you're still keen, Sounds like a very far way away. But Anton, let's go to the professional boxing. Obviously, you guys are there, and the attraction of the evening, the exhibition bouts who will bring the fans into. But there's a professional boxing on the day as well. What do you make of the tournaments, and what do we have to look out for?
So, Prenorman Shabani was smart to put myself and Johnny on, because we are the Southern Giants, and the Southern Giant always happened in November. So this was more or less our Southern Giant for this year, you know. At the same time, we know everybody in the South, they'll be coming to watch us. There's a lot of history behind this fight. I mean, the Isaac and the Malcolm and whatever. So that was a good thing by Prenorman to do that, to fill the stadium, you know. It's Portuguese Hall. It's a classic venue that's had some of the greatest fights in the 70s, 80s and 90s. And I remember when I did it with Lionel and Manny Fernandes, we sort of reignited the Portuguese Hall thing. So the venue is specifically chosen because it's the fighting heritage of the South. Then if you look at the tournament, so I'm going to go into the middle of the pack already, and we got Jared Silverman, you know, on his third fight, I think it is, following coming back to boxing, second fight, and he looked great in his last fight, and he's made a call out to SD Pipers. And, you know, initially that seemed like, oh, it's not going to happen, what have you. But if there's enough talk and there's enough want and the money's right and things like that, then I think that's going to happen. So I think Jared is leaning towards putting all the effort in to make that fight happen. Because when it does happen, you know, like they did with Pacquiao and Mayweather, they took so long. Pacquiao was out of condition by then, in my opinion. But this one will happen and it will draw a huge crowd, you know. I'm very happy that Silverman's back in boxing. It's just a good line for him, you know. So that's that. And then Lucky Monyabani, who was discovered by Golden Gloves from Hammanskraal, which was one of the programs that they did. He's still fighting and he's still doing well, so he's on the tournament as well. Outside of that, we've got a SA female title fight in the GBV month, you know what I'm saying? So that is a feather in Prenorman's cap on doing something smart and highlighting how important women are for boxing. And I must be honest, some of the women's boxing has been better than the guys' boxing. The females are fighting very nicely these days, you know. So kudos to them. And then, you know, we've got some other fights on there with Peter Bradenbach and Christo Lewis. You know, that's a nice fight. You get a lot of... without being racist or anything like that, you get a lot of black-white fights. It's seldom that you're actually getting two white guys fighting against each other, especially in the up-and-coming ranks. So that's a good one. And
I think Christo is a former, I think he won the South African title last year. Yeah?
Yeah.
Won the South African amateur title last year.
Yeah.
So this is his first profile.
So it's going to be, it's a good prospect coming
it's
through.
a good prospect, yeah. And he's fighting a guy that's had 2 fights, 1-1, so...
Good test for a start. Yeah. Experience in the pro ranks.
Yeah, and then Seth van Aswegen, who was with me, you know, and he's migrated to Brian Mitchell on Good Vibes, and he's doing well, and he had a great last fight, and this is just another fight for him to step up and show that he can. I think he's got a lot of ability, and he's training with Manny and Richard, and they've got quite a few of my fighters. They've got Ethan Peters as well, and Ethan's got his debut on the 29th of November. that's going to be exciting. He's going to be a hot prospect, eh?
You told me about that kid.
Yeah.
2 years ago, you were talking about.
Sure,
this
100%.
kid.
11 fights, 10 knockouts, and 11 wins. He won the SA title with 3 knockout fights at the championship or 2. So he's just special. People don't understand. Somebody to watch, and he's just turned 19 yesterday. So, But when I had other pros here for sparring and things like that, they were part of my gym, who were experienced pros, 8-9 fights into it in the same weight division. He was giving them carrots, and he just turned 19. He was doing this already a year ago at 18. So phenomenal talent. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about, So there's a couple up-and-coming guys, and I'm not too afraid with these names because AB's put this together, but we do have a nice undercard, and then we've got a Gauteng junior lightweight title, which is nice. Mandla Mankate, he's the champion versus Tupelo Mampalelele. Okay, forgive me for pronunciation.
Yeah, both even southpaws, to be honest.
Yeah, so that's a good fight, So we've got Johnny first. He's the last fight of the day, the head fight. And, the funny thing about this is we've never had an exhibition bout being the main fight of the day on a pro tournament. So this is very unusual.
Is the exhibition's first or last?
Mine's first. I open the day.
Okay.
And then he'll be
So you're
ending
on
the
Johnny's
day.
undercard?
Yeah, I am, man. Funny.
Just making sure.
Now you put it that way. Anyway, thanks for that.
Sorry.
Anyway, I do train him, so I'll still be in the main fight. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so look, we got a nice card. Some interesting stuff happening on that. I don't know if Johnny wants to. I've just been mouthing off here about what's happening. But we've got the Jared Silverman and Lucky Monyabani, Seth Peter van Aswegen,
It's good for boxing in the south, though, because I think boxing in the south is sort of migrated. Boxing is moving to the north, moving to the East Rand, and not much is happening here in the south.
Yeah.
So it's good for the south.
Yeah, we've got Box Camp, which is a fantastic venue, and that's Johnny's old club, and we want to put him on there one of these days. But so what else have we got, And if you're looking for pro trainers in the south, you got Manny, you got myself, and then we start looking around. There's not many, eh? In the south, they had a proliferation of pro gyms and things like that. But currently, we're a little bit scarce at the moment.
2 or 3 gyms in the south.
So there's loads in Midrand and Pretoria, and they are going to the suburban areas, and not so inner city anymore. Anyway, nevertheless, it's a great venue. We've got some good South boys, Seth, myself, Johnny, and possibly 1 or 2 others that are known in the South, Jared Silverman, you know what I'm saying. So it will be a good tournament. We are slightly draw cards for the event to get the people there, but it is a good tournament, and being a GBV item, I think Pre-Norman's done a fantastic job, and he thought carefully about how he's going to get the people to the venue, So I'm surprised at his ability to see a niche market.
Well, we're looking forward to it. 28th of November, we're going to be seeing it. Do you guys want to say anything, just lastly, just a parting comment from either of you?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, anyway, I'm doing this for my kids, always do. Aiden, Tyler, it's for you, baby.